Hey gang, and welcome to Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Will Meadows.
And I'm Sara Meadows, and today we're looking at processing from Fight in a Box.
In this game, the Confederate alien overlords have taken over the earth and made you their slave, and it's now your job to do their sorting and processing for them. So you're either going to be sending folks and cows to processing, to probing, or set them free.
Processing is a 3 to 6 player voting and hand management game from designer Seppi Yoon, and it plays in about 20 minutes. It's coming to Kickstarter in October, and we have a prototype, so let's take a look at it now.
To set up the game, lay out the probing, processing, and free cards on the table.
Deal each player their alien agenda cards.
And give each player 3 of each type of voting token.
The conveyor belt begins with 3 cards set out.
On their turn, players must contribute 1 voting token to a card of their choice.
When a card is maxed out, it immediately goes to whichever location has the most tokens on it.
Once 6 rounds of voting have taken place, players decide which alien to follow orders from.
Victory points are awarded based on the aliens, as well as players receiving mad cow disease from that alien's dislikes.
Fewer voting tokens are distributed, and players vote for a second and third round as well.
The player with the most mad cow points after 3 rounds is the loser. And the player still alive with the most victory points wins, or doesn't get processed.
Processing is a nice little small box game that really has a decent punch to it. There's a lot of different things going on in the game. You are working to get your influence out onto those cards and hope that they go into the slot at the end of the conveyor belt that you want them to go into in order to fulfill and not end up with mad cow disease the alien cards that are in your hand. It's really nice that you can choose at the end of each round which alien you're going to fulfill for that round, but then that really limits you on what you're going to do in the future rounds.
One thing we didn't really explain how it works is the conveyor belt. There is an overseer for the round, and once it gets to that player's turn, they will add an additional card to the conveyor belt. But if the conveyor belt ever gets too emptied, they will add another card at that point as well. Or if it gets to 6 cards, that top card in the conveyor belt will score whether or not it's been completely voted on. So the overseer may have a little bit of extra weight, and they are the first to maybe influence that card on their turn.
Yeah, the game pace moves along really nice as a result of that conveyor belt always pushing things forward. The theme for the game is a little bit gruesome, honestly. Like, you're sending hipsters to probing and to processing and mixing in the cows hopefully as often as you can. There's really no moral high ground that you can take in the game, because if you're trying to get the points, sometimes you've got to send those hipster dudes to the processing thing. I'm only slightly offended as a partial hipster myself. I did enjoy the artwork for the game, though. They took a kind of an interesting approach to it, and as it plays out in the game, it feels really fun. All the alien illustrations are bizarre and crazy, and so there's different things to look at in the game as you're playing it. The components for it were, really standard and really nice for the game, and it did create a kind of fun experience as we were just, working hard to make sure our tokens made it into the right spot onto the cards, and that we were able to really fulfill those alien point cards.
Yeah, I did want to mention that we played the light variant. That's what they had for their prototypes. They are planning a much more deeper experience, so we'll be looking forward to see what that looks like on their Kickstarter page.
Yeah, if it sounds like something that you'd be interested in, then check out Processing on Kickstarter soon. And thanks so much for subscribing to our channel. Be sure to join us for the next video, which will be coming soon. In this game, the Confederate alien overlords have taken...
cows.
Oh, you literally messed me up.
I warned you that I was going to interrupt you.
You said you were going to, and I was like, what's she... Oh, I thought I said it wrong.